أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين الحمد لله رب العالمين. Because the last week it was Eid Adha, so what signifies Eid Adha was the Hajj. So we wanted to discuss Hajj. So just to recap what Hajj is, we discussed that من استطاع إليه, there is a verse. So this verse is usually, generally, or traditionally, conventionally understood that whoever is able to go on Hajj. So how usually it is understood is that financially you have to be capable of doing that, going there, and also physically, maybe traveling conditions, etc., must be appropriate for the journey. But it doesn't have to be. It may be included in it. It doesn't exclude this understanding, the verse, but istata'a means who is able to do. So in order to be able to go on Hajj, yes, you have to have some physical ability, that's sure, but it cannot be reduced to physical ability. Shouldn't be, cannot be. So ability means, are you ready? We discussed this topic last week. Ready means ready to go on Hajj. And in order to be ready to go on Hajj means you have to know what you are going to do. Why are you going there? If you go there because it's a religious duty, and it means yes, you are doing it, because it's a religious duty. I don't know why they ask me to do so I have to do it. So without knowing what you are doing, it's not very human. So we said we have to understand what going on Hajj means. We know that Hajj occurs once in one's life. We said that is an opportunity. I'm just recapping as much as quick as possible, as short as possible, that occurs in the form of a second opportunity, second chance in one's life. First chance when you are born to this world. So you were born here, you were a baby, you didn't know what was going on, and somebody took care of you. So somebody took care of you, and you grew up in this world, and you went through lots of tribulations and trial of life. You had some sort of experience. I don't know about you, but I'm sure you do as well, but I made a lot of mistakes. Right? So everybody has this background. So lots of mistakes we did. So we say, if only I had another chance. Okay, there's another chance. It means to reborn. Another chance. Hajj means this. To reset. We said we have to go back to our factual settings. It means if I was born again, now I would do this, I would take this path rather than that path, etc. Hajj gives this meaning. It happens only once in your life, but somebody may say, oh, I'm going to go again. But as far as the religious instruction is concerned, or what we understand from the regulations, Islamic regulations, the jurisprudential regulations, you have to do it at least once in your life if you are able. Ability starts with financial ability, but it is not only that, but if you feel the need to go back to your factory settings, it means with the language of the Quran, your natural self, which is called in Islam, is in the Quranic terminology, fitra. So your fitra, your natural self. So if anybody wants to really renovate his life and decide that I'm going to do this, so bearing this in mind, when I go on Hajj, I am going to go through a process, or if you like, surgery, through a surgery. So, for example, my heart is not really working properly, so I go and have a heart operation or heart transplantation so that I will have a fresh heart. If you are ready to do that, you have to pay attention to the sections of or units of Hajj. How am I going to do it through these units? That is the important part of it. So, what we understand, it is not, contrary to the common understanding, it is not that Hajj changes you. You change yourself through Hajj by determination. Determination to do what? I'm going to change. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to repeat my mistakes again. I'm not going to waste my life again, all my human abilities. So that determination is the essence of Hajj. If someone says, I'm going to go on Hajj so that my sins will be forgiven, if you repent, if you perform the Hajj according to the requirements of the Hajj, then you will be clean or cleansed. But repenting doesn't mean that, also I missed a lot of prayers, so I have to decide that I am not, after coming back from Hajj, I will never miss my prayer. But the real repentance is your relationship with your prayer. Which kind of attitude you have? Why did you miss your prayer before? What did you miss? Why did you miss it? Because you were not really absolutely sure and convinced that you have to. So Hajj doesn't make you regain this energy. Your determination, your decision makes you gain or regain this energy. It's your determination. So we hear from the hadith, the prophetic narration, which says if someone performs the Hajj perfectly, as it is required to be, then he will turn back from Hajj as if he was a newly born baby. That's correct. But of course, we should be careful not to reduce the perfect performance of Hajj to its outward form. We have to concentrate on what it is kernel is. Yep. So far? So Hajj doesn't change you. You change yourself through Hajj. Okay. But we understand that, inshallah. So, what is the meaning of Hajj? Hajj means in Arabic, struggling with evidence, with evidence, bringing evidence, which is in Arabic, hujjah. Some people say hujjat. You get it? Hujjat. So with evidence. So not struggling in the physical form. Struggling against your weaknesses, against your laziness, against, for example, determining your life in one way or another. But you understand that these were wrong. Now, because of this and this and this, hujjah, It means evidence. Because of this and this, I am not going to go back my previous life and previous mistakes. I decided not to go back there because I have to have my evidence. Hajj means practicing your evidence, right? So if you don't have it, you have evidence, don't waste your money. You can go to a better place for a journey. So you have to have your evidence. Why are you going there? You have to prepare yourself. So what made you decide that your previous life was wrong, so I have to change it or cleanse it? What made you? What's the reason for you? That is Hajj, bringing evidence. Any questions? Somebody wanted maybe?
Oh, yes, I just wanted to reiterate on what you mean by evidence. So basically it's us reflecting on our life up until now, and then if it doesn't make sense, then
yeah. For example, we only understand in practical and material terms that you studied, let's say you decided to study medicine, and you were studying, you know that this market is open and they are always in demand, and you started studying the medicine, and 6 years later the market is saturated. They don't need any more doctors or any medical professionals in any sense, maybe nurses, etc. So you say, oh, it was a mistake. My purpose is to get a profession. You make a research in the market. You understand that the computer science market is open. So decide that I am going to study computer science, right? You become a computer engineer, right? And because of your mind is clear, you know why you are shifting from medical studies into computer science. So you start any, if you like, college education in order to become a computer science. So that's your evidence. Now you say, for example, I was missing a lot of prayers and I wasn't being really very religious. So I am getting old, and before it is too late, I must go on Hajj and start my start praying regularly. Okay? Why do you want to pray? If you have evidence that missing prayer is really extremely bad, if you are convinced, then Hajj helps you. Or going on pilgrimage helps you. But if you don't have in your mind why you should really pray and never miss it, you go there, you come back 2 months later, you start toppling again. Yeah, one thing, with this time, but there are customers here making my sustenance for my family. I have to stay here, so I can pray later on. You start, omitting, skipping, 1, 2, 3, and then my name is Ali, so old Ali starts reviving because there is no evidence that convinced you. So if you have the evidence, Hajj gives you the opportunity, because when you go on pilgrimage, you make a really, really resolute decision. That must be done. That is why I have to be in this way. So I have to go or undergo a surgical operation so that I will become a new man. So when you go on Hajj, why it happens in just 3-4 days, essentially. The rest is not really essential, but 3-4 days, you have to have an understanding of the meaning of Hajj as coming from or inherited from not only the Quranic teaching, because it wasn't a new thing in the world to go on pilgrimage. And it is not unique to Islam either. In almost every religious tradition, there is a kind of pilgrimage. In every, they have different types of pilgrimage. So it is a very old notion, as old as human race. That's why we have to understand that Hajj means going to Arafat and standing there. Hajj means. So in Arafat, that is our destination. It symbolizes, also we said we have to talk about the symbolic meaning of Hajj. Arafat symbolizes, Arafat comes from Arafat, which most of you are familiar with the word ma'rifah. It means knowledge, acknowledgement, awareness. Well, what are we learning there? What are we acknowledging in Arafat? So when we come to Arafat, we will talk about it. So, but as an introduction now to today's subject, as an introduction, when somebody makes an intention to go to Hajj, so his direction is to Kaaba. Look, we go to Kaaba. Why? Kaaba symbolizes, we will discuss about it, oneness of God. In order to establish the understanding of oneness of God into our life, we have to have this ultimate aim, because we will go from Arafat after taking ihram, the special, well, not special, the non-special cloth actually, which has no speciality. So taking ihram, we may go, practically speaking, if you are there earlier, you may go to Kaaba and make tawaf, but it's not a part of Hajj. It is part of Umrah or something, another religious activity, as if going to a masjid, praying there. It's okay. But as far as Hajj, the pillars or principles of Hajj are concerned, you have to go to Arafat and start Hajj there. So, but after Hajj, you go to after Arafat, you go to Muzdalifah. From Muzdalifah to Mina, we will somehow talk about them, and then from Mina to stone the Satan, and then end up with Kaaba. Yeah, and Kaaba circumambulation around the Kaaba as if wraps up your Hajj. So Safa Marwa starts now. You're running between Safa and Marwa hills, right? So the ultimate aim is to reach oneness of God, establish the oneness of God in our life. But Hajj starts with the destination of Arafat. Why is it the destination? It is regarded as the destination. It means you go there and settle down there first. Why? Because it was the destination of Adam. Narrated like this in the story of the prophetic narrations, stories. So Adam was in paradise. It means you were in paradise. And you not expelled from paradise, but you have taken away from paradise, and now you are grown up. It means you have reached the age of maturity or puberty. Yeah, you are an adult now. So when you are an adult, you become aware of your mahram. Means your private parts. Means, I have to take care of myself. I can't be as I am. When we were a baby, I don't remember, but some of us may. When we were a baby, we didn't know. Yeah, they changed our diapers, and we didn't know. We were so free. Everyone was comfortable. So even if they didn't change our diaper and clean us, we shouted. Yeah, because we had no sense. As we grew up, we became aware of it. That is now the time you are, if you like, expelled, or you are coming out of your innocence. You are responsible for your choices. You are responsible for your free will now. Whatever you do, must do it consciously. Arafat represents the awareness of human reality. When Adam was sent from paradise on earth. Now, when you reach the age of puberty, you are on earth. Now, you have to sit and discuss yourself. Who am I? Who am I? So last week, we touched upon the subject a little bit about miqat, where those people who make a serious decision about changing, renewing themselves. So when they reach miqat, it means the mahram, where the place is sacred or sacred, but you have to watch out your actions now. You can't do anything you want. You can't act on your own desires. In miqat, you have to take off your all artificial identity. All the clothes are off, or the artificial identities are off. You have to be, we discussed this, one drop in the ocean. Lose yourself. No personal identity. So you wear like everybody else to cover yourself, but discovering is important. It must be seamless, means there should be no special design, just a piece of cloth. Everybody is equal. Now it means I have decided to become a person who has no difference from the rest of the people around me. That is absolutely prerequisite to get into the area which is called harem. Yeah, that's ihram you wear. Harem is the place. What is harem? It means what is prohibited for you now. You cannot act on your desire. A fly comes and lands on your nose. You cannot do that. No. And there is a lizard coming this way. You cannot, before you say, I don't like this, just now that disinfectants or how is it? Insecticide. So use insecticide and kill anything that you don't like. You can do that. Even there is something is hair, for example, growing here and keeps annoying you. How we develop our ticks. I do this, for example, and then like this, whatever. And everybody has some sort of tick. You can't do that. You can't just take it. I don't like you. No. Respect everything as they are created.
Can you not do it, or because your consciousness is somewhere else, is connected to
you are
creator, so you're not even getting agitated with these type of...
Yeah, you are going undergoing a surgery. If this surgery will take you back to your pure previous, if you like, original state. We call it factory setting, as you are created. So all your habits must be checked out, right? When you have something, which I may have, something annoys you, you can't do that. Because it is an unconscious habit. You have to gain or regain your consciousness. I keep doing this. Why do I do this? Yeah. For example, there's a plant there on the ground and you just kick it or pull it up, right? And there's a tree and there is a leaf on it. So you just pick one leaf and start, I like that. No, you can't do that. Why? Watch out. you have to watch out for your habits, unconscious actions. It means makes you aware that you have developed many uncontrolled habits. Ihram means this. It means become aware of your weak points, habits, uncontrolled language, talking about other people. Look at this guy. His beard is so, look, isn't it funny? No, you can't do that. Ihram. Is it the right thing to do? It's not. According to what? According to your consciousness, your awareness. Why are you doing that? Why have you been on Hajj? In order to renew yourself. That is the prerequisite. I can, some people may not be happy with it. Not here people, but outside people may not be happy with it. If you have not, if you don't have the intention to watch out for yourself, to change yourself, not only because of the outward form of it, no, inward form of your own self. Don't go on Hajj, it's pointless. You go there and start gossiping about this, Arabs are doing this, these guys from India, oh God, they think they are Muslims. Don't go there for gossip. So you think that my culture is the best because I am familiar with it? Whatever I am familiar with. For example, if I come from Egypt, example. So it means Egyptian white rice is the best. If I come from Pakistan, biryani is definitely the best. So this kind of obsessions that we have developed must put on trial now. Are they really correct? Are you ready to do that? Then go on pilgrimage. It gives you the opportunity. Why? In 3 days' time, you will, if you like, relive the whole human history, starting from Adam until the end. In your life, from the beginning to the end. You were a baby, your spirit was pure. It is still pure, will be polluted, but on the outside. Yeah. Fitra never changed, but we pollute it. The mirror is clean. Mirror is clean. It reflects whatever the sunlight comes in. It's okay. It's clean, but we can dirty it. But if you say I'm going to have exactly whatever, however the sunlight reflects in it, you have to wipe it up. So that's a kind of wiping up all our habits, or I don't know, cultures. That's why in Hajj it is supposed to be, if you like, culture-free, nation-free, race-free, only human beings. But practical terms, let's not talk about it. Everybody puts its own flag somewhere, identify that I'm from Indonesia, I'm from. So, but it's just against the spirit of pilgrimage. It tells you a lot. People come there with no consciousness. Because you will become a human being. Adam. Only a human being. So while you are wearing the ihram, you cannot hurt anybody, even the one insect. You cannot kill, or you cannot shave, you cannot give a new appearance to yourself. This is important because at the very end, you will shave and turn back to the world. It's the very end. How Hajj ends? With cutting the hair. It means, okay, I'm going to back to my social life now, so I have to take care of myself. For the moment, during the Hajj, you are a human being, came from paradise on earth, and the first time you are seeing the world. What are they? What's going on here? But you are aware of your private parts, they say, mahram. Yeah, you have to watch out. You cannot be as you were born anymore. yeah, according to the conditions of the life on earth. So spirit is in a body, and the body has connection with the rest of the world. That is, when you enter the harem, not only where the Kaaba is, any vicinity close to Kaaba, depending on wherever you enter, the Prophet designated that until here you are on earth. After that, you will start practicing the process of surgery. That's why it requires the very conscious awareness. So no one will say, I don't like this. You can't say that I am different from you. Right? That signifies, ihram signifies this. So the area which is called harem, or mahram area, there you cannot really act according to your desires, according to your previous habits. That's the simplest way of putting it. Right? And the first thing is a requirement of Hajj, but before you go Hajj, and this is Sunnah, these are different. We are not going to fiqh side of it at all. It is, you can learn it from anywhere. So what we are going to do, go on pilgrimage for Arafat now. What does Arafat signify?
Awareness.
Awareness. Awareness of what? Good. Yeah.
Your humanity,
Sorry?
like your humanity, your origin, like what your purpose is.
Being on earth. So that's Adam's, it's symbolic, the historically told that Arafat was the place where Adam landed when he was sent on earth. That's, you have to say, look, this, let's refresh myself. To be here, I am on earth now. What's expected from me in Arafat? Which kind of prayers or supplications you do in Arafat? Which kind of, anything?
Waiting?
Sorry?
Just waiting there?
Yeah, waiting there. Waiting for what? Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. Standing up. Do you have to turn the Kaaba? No. Just stand up. While we are praying in our prayers, we stand up, symbolizes that actually, if you are aware of it. So stand up. Just stand up. What? You know, when you, it happens to me. When I'm on the plane, I lose my direction. So get on the airport, I don't know whether I'm going to the north or to the east, west, I don't know, I have no idea. So when you go out of the buildings in the airport, I say, okay, where I am now? Yeah, where I am now. Yeah, it is an airport where? New York. Let's say, of course, you know where you are going, but let's say there is a stop in between your departure and destination. There is a stop. So the airplane landed somewhere. You don't know what you do. You look at around. Where are we? They say in Dubai. Are we in Dubai? Because most of the flights go to Asian countries, land on Dubai or Arab Emirates or somewhere. So we are in Dubai. Really? You just look at it like this, open mouth. You don't know where you are. Arafat is the first acknowledgement of being on earth, where I am now. So you, the person who goes on real pilgrimage has to decide from the very beginning, now I am here, I am on earth. What am I going to do here? What's expected from me? So make a re-evaluation of your being on earth. So you are not in the form of spirit anymore. You are in body. So the body has lots of requirements according to the conditions of the earth and the natural things around you, physical world around you. You have to say, look, I have to rewrite everything from the beginning. Here I am on earth. Let me start now. Let me start my life conditions here. What am I going to do? What is expected from me? Why am I here on earth? That's the most essential question. Why am I here on earth? Who will answer? Why are we here on earth? Spirit was perfectly able to know who its Lord is. Yeah? Now we are sent on earth, we lost our Lord. Right? It needs a re-evaluation of our history, in my own history, not necessarily going back to prophetic narrations that Adam was here, that Eve, Adam's wife, was there, on how she was created from his it's called ribs or something. Which ribs? Right ribs? These are ridiculous things. Everybody has to think of seriously of their being on earth. It means being in a body. This body is in contact with the physical world. And what am I expected to do here? How can I connect with the physical world around me so that I should preserve my soul's pristine, is it right?
Prestige?
No.
Pristine.
Sorry, pristine, original form. So because Spirit knows it's able to know, it is created with the capacity to know his Lord. And that's why how we really use our physical body, physical connections, and acknowledge that we have an owner, we have an absolute source, and the absolute source is my Lord. These things cannot be my Lord. I am here to go a training. So think of your reality on when you are on Arafat, your reality being on earth. So if you say, I am here to take care of my children, okay, so what? I took care of my children. What happened? I died, they will die. That is the point. Being in this connection. Often I am here to help other people. Okay, you helped. Is it the purpose? You helped other people. Is it the purpose? Make a real analysis of your purpose being on earth. It means being in this physical world. Arafat is the place where you analyze it. You have to decide, I have to protect my original form. I have to keep my soul without being soiled, dirtied, by drawing its attention to other things rather than to its Lord. Right? So that's what the hadith says, the sayings of the Prophet says, Hajj means Arafat. Yeah, Arafat. If you don't acknowledge this reality, if you don't really review your all principles, all your principles, and go on Arafat and say that, please God, give my son a job. He has been struggling and couldn't get a good job. It means this not being an Arafat. Because you are not realizing your own position in this world. What are you going to do with your physical or with your other internal senses? What are you going to do with that? So, of course, we go through many calculations, if you like. Yes, but, we have to eat. there will be something. So I have to do this. I have to prepare this as well. I cannot really be with God alone. You know, we have to live in this world, but we shouldn't. Yes, we have to worship God, but we shouldn't forget our share in the world as well. Lots of justifications, lots of quarrels go on there. What are we going to do? How can I make my physical world so that it should not harm my soul or distort my soul or soil, dirty my soul? Because it is always the soul acknowledges God. You cannot acknowledge God more than what your soul is given the ability to acknowledge. So our duty is not to spoil the soul. Let it function as it is. What is in this world? What we do, the soul is like a mirror. Let's say facing the sun, getting all lights perfectly. What we do, we turn it, we crack it, we dirty it by saying, but also we have to do that as well. But of course you have to eat. But it doesn't have to be a means of dirtying your soul. While you are eating, also you can consolidate what the soul is expected to do. Acknowledge the source. Acknowledge the source. But you have to do that. You have to take care of your family. Yes, acknowledge the source. It means while you are taking care of your family, or the people around you, why are you doing it? In reality, I have to do it not on my own name to satisfy my, I don't know, spiritual being, etc. But I have to do it as a performance, as a means of acknowledging what my source is and how can I connect it through this action. So, which is better for me? To be in paradise or to be on earth, which is on Arafat? Which is better? Which is better? To be in paradise?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Be on earth.
We are on earth. But which one would you rather be? Paradise? Paradise?
We want to go there, right? I mean, that's.
No, that is future. Where do you want to be now?
Paradise.
No, on earth. Why? Paradise, the soul represents our potentiality. Potentially, I am the typical, and it became a traditional example actually for us. Potentially, I am able to speak 150 languages. Potentially. But I can only speak the one I learn. Otherwise, this potentiality means nothing as far as my responsibility is concerned. Yeah, potentially you can be this and that, many other professions you may study. Potentiality is there in order to grow, like a seed. Seed is there for what? In order to grow into a tree. So physical conditions being on earth gives us the opportunity to improve this potentiality. Make it into capacity. So when you go back in the future, when you are taken to paradise, in paradise you will experience only whatever the potentialities we have developed here and made our capacity, human capacity. Now, for example, I can speak English. Now, in paradise, I will be able to communicate my language with English. It's an example, not the language-wise I am talking. Or let's say I studied medicine or biology. So while I am studying biology, I learned a lot of things, and I acknowledged God's power and other qualities as they manifested themselves in the field that I am experiencing here. I acknowledged God in that field. I will communicate with God through my acknowledge in that area. If I don't improve it, the spirit itself is created by God. It has nothing to do with you. That the ability to speak, let's say, Bangladesh language, it's there created by you. It is not your kasb in Arabic. This is not your acquisition. So, for example, some people say, I am very sorry for the poor people. They are right. But this compassion for the poor, the needy ones, needy people, is in your potentiality. You cannot be proud of it. Only the Creator can be proud of it. What you can gain from it, if you really do it and develop it, improve it by acknowledging what you are doing. So if I say, I cannot really stand some atrocities or transgressions, I am against them. Everybody is against aggressions. Even the Stalin was against aggression. But he killed almost not many, almost 2 or 3 million people. Why? Not because aggression, come on, to establish the just system on earth. No one does aggression because spirit doesn't want. That is not except to say that aggression is right. But what we are expected to do, we have to use it, develop it, in order to know its owner, so that when I am taken to paradise, I will say, my God is just God. I knew it. Yeah? So you can see the manifestations of God's justice in paradise. You communicate through these manifestations because you developed it. If you don't develop it, what happens? The seed, let's say a seed, is not grown into a tree. What happens? Rots. So Arafat is the place where you revise, review your whole life and make another decision. What am I going to do in this physical world? In which field I am going to study, I am going to concentrate, and which path I am going to take. All the decision-making takes place in Arafat. While you are standing like this, it is funny actually. In my own experience, they said, the guides, religious guides said, here is Arafat, you have to stand. I'm standing, so what? What am I doing? Would they say only the fiqh rule? Yeah, it is really ridiculous, reducing my duty to fiqh rules only. Yes, you have to stand, but stand for what? And an idle man? An idle man, you have nothing to do, so I'm just standing, I'm not allowed to sit. Okay, you can sit, but you have to stand for a while. But you have to stand and face your reality and make all your analysis from the beginning of your life, as Adam was in paradise. It means from your pure spirit until you die in the physical world. What are you going to do here? Which path are you going to take? I think somebody was once.
Yeah, so all this is making sense. And so I think I'm having a hard time understanding, why do I have to go all the way to Arafat to be reflecting like that?
So,
I
yeah.
could be going somewhere like maybe Grand Canyon or
Somewhere
Long
there.
Island. Or,
So that is the physical place. Historically, the human history has been summarized. So what you are doing there, Actually, you are not good. You can go anywhere, Hawaii Islands also, and say that stand there. Okay, but you cannot really physically experience. That is something to do with belief or understanding the messengership. That's something to do with it. So understanding the messengership. Why? The first human was a messenger. That's very important, very, very important. So the first messenger came there and practiced this experience that you are now practicing, and throughout all these messengers, when all the messengers throughout human history practiced there, and the last messenger that you are following the example of also practiced that, and you are following this historical event. For example, instead of going to Rome, right? So you say, okay, I'm going to take the pictures, and you can imagine here, and as if you have been there. Is it the same? We are on earth. We need physical experience. We need physical experience. Physical experience of the prophetic lineage. All experience this, a kind of form may be different, place may be different, doesn't matter, a kind of Arafat, and it was here. So all the Abraham started there, Adam started there, Muhammad started there, all the surgery. So the surgery it takes place in where? In ER, emergency room, right? So as if you are, when you go to Arafat and other units of Hajj, as if you are in the now ER, emergency room, not undergoing the surgical operation. And all, when you are doing this, what you did, what you remember, Adam was here, Abraham was here, Muhammad was here, alayhimus salam. They were all here. They started their regenerating their life here, and I joined this life. So when we form the congregation, seems to be a simple event. Somebody is imam, and I'm just lining up in a row behind it, and imam is there. I'm just listening to what imam is reading. In reality, it must be in an imaginary form, not real form, because prophet is not there. As far as we are concerned, these people, or I'm not saying Muslims are concerned, as far as the people of this age is concerned, Muhammad is the imam. It must be your imam. Practicing or showing, demonstrating us how to exercise, how to train our spirit within the conditions of this physical world. So really, you cannot dispense the prophets off in your life. To me, we have not studied yet, but it is in my mind that one day we will study, inshallah. Without the prophet, you cannot live your physical life in this world. You can live with your belief in God in the ideology form. Do you understand that? Ideology. For some people are Marxists, their ideology. Some people are liberalists, they are Democrats. Some people are their ideology. So you are monotheist ideology. It is not a wrong ideology, but it is not your physical life. That's your ideals, but it's not practiced. In order to practice your ideals, you have to have a practical example in front of you. That's why we go there in order to really practice what our imam, leader, in the physical world. That's very important. Yeah. I'll come back. In the physical world, we are following the Imam. In the physical, why? We are not in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, you don't have to follow anybody. You are with God directly. Your spirit acknowledges Him. But in the physical world, how am I going to use my human abilities, potentialities, in a way that they will be growing in the optimum level? The prophets are the examples of it. So you go there as if you are, for example, you are going to a museum, you are going to a city that you would like to see. Not only the film of it, not the picture of it, you will be there, you will be really experiencing the physical conditions of the prophet's leadership took place. Join, if you like, join into his community or congregation. Yes, forget about the time, because we are living the human life on earth in 3 days. That's Hajj. That is the summary of Hajj. We are living the human race from Adam until your life here in 3 days, summarizing it with the practice that the prophets perform in the same place as they did. For example, you listen to the music, and nowadays the music recording is really excellent. You can hear every detail in the composition or melody of the music, and you are aware of it. But if there is a gala, what do you do? If the singer comes to New York, yeah, they said the singer will be present, herself or himself, here. You pay $500 for ticket. You go there 1 day before and wait in the queue or the line, maybe from night, to get the right place, to be closer to it. You want to see. Why do you want to see him or her? Why do you want to see him? But for the music, you got exactly the same music she or he is going to sing. But you want to see him personally, practicing it, doing it. So you want to go as if you are going on a gala display on the stage. The actor is there, we live it here. So that is really kind of empathy you are establishing between the leader and you. When you pray in a congregation, so do you remember, or I don't know whether you do or not, I try to by myself. Now the Imam is reading Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. What do you expect it to do? This Imam is repeating what Muhammad recited. So you can tie up yourself to the presence of Muhammad. Turning, we said the Kaaba is direction. But the difference is the Kaaba and Arafat. Arafat is destination. You came here on earth. But Kaaba is your direction. Even you leave Kaaba, you still turn back to it. Physically. Although Kaaba is not here, but at least I can turn to it. Physically. That's why physical practice is very important. Because we are living in this world with our physical body. So I have to turn somewhere. I have to decide which way I should take. I can't say that I can turn anywhere. No, you have a free will. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision according to what? According to your real purpose of existence. Your real purpose of existence can be realized or will be realized only when you turn to your ultimate aim. Tawheed. Oneness of God, represented in Kaaba. We'll come there. So, somebody wanted to ask first.
I got it.
Okay.
I guess just wanted to clarify something. So Kaaba is the aim, Arafat is the destination. So when I physically turn towards Kaaba, regardless of whether I'm anywhere on the planet,
that's your direction.
My soul is controlling my physical body.
Yeah.
Telling that, okay, I conceptually know that the oneness of the creator. So now I want, the physical body to acknowledge that.
Yeah, it means you are riding your body, not your body is riding you. So your body, your physical world is under the control of your soul. So through what? Through your free choice. That is important. You have to choose. Yes, as the Quran says, this beautiful verse actually we can study. Quran says, wherever you turn to God. Is it correct? Yeah. As the Quran says, yes. Because you don't say that God lives this way, not this way. When I turn this way, there is no God there. No, this way also is created by the same God. This way also is created by the same God. But that is, God is the creator of everywhere. God is the Lord of the East and the West. It means everywhere, wherever you turn. Okay, it doesn't matter wherever you turn. But when you decide which way shall I turn, I will turn the place where my ultimate aim is symbolized, expressed, or practiced by the prophets. Right? All the prophets. What are the prophets for us now at this stage? Prophets are the instructors, examples, which teaches us how to use our physical world in connection with my soul, spirit. So I practice my belief in God, then God's absoluteness, how? In my practical life, by praying, by fasting, by making decisions, by choosing this way or another way. Does it make sense? So the prophets are necessary for us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to know how to grow our tree, our seeds into trees. They are the ones who teach us. Although the seed itself potentially able to grow into a tree, but you need to take some sort of training from farming or agricultural, whatever, training. These are the prophets are the means, if you like, or the instructors is the best. How to use your physical world in connection to your soul, so that your soul will keep its pure, original quality as it is. So the prophets, in reality, what do? They teach us while we are on earth how to connect myself to my God while I am on earth. So my spirit acknowledges God, but I may distort it. I may spoil it, dirty it. I may keep it in another way. I may use it in another way, in the wrong way. And I may not be able to fulfill the aim of my being on earth. Right? Any question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I think, from what I've learned over the past year, learning to acknowledge the creator is a hard process. It's something that you build and you continue to build over time. And I'm struggling to see how, it's taking me a while to kind of become better at that. I'm not sure how you can all of a sudden do all that in the time you're on Arafat. Because it seems like something
So all of a sudden,
you can accomplish all that in that short time you're standing.
Yeah, that's a dense, concentrated reflection. That's why Hajj is difficult. They say Hajj is difficult. Why? Because some people come from other cultures. They say, I don't agree with that. Anyways, so some people come from other cultures. They do something that really gets on your nerves. So to be patient with them is really difficult. It is ridiculous. Hajj is very, very dense. It needs a real patience and perseverance because you have to live your life, summary of life in one night or one day staying on Arafah. Yeah, that's why it is difficult. Because you should see nobody around you. Other people's mistakes should not concern you. Because we said this last week, I think. No, so you can watch on the recordings, whatever. So we said we are going to be a drop in the ocean in order to what? In order to concern myself only, understand who I am without having any distinction from the rest of the world. But if you are annoyed with the people who come from Yemen or I don't know Indonesia or Afghanistan, they have their own customs, they have their own way of life, of course, different experience of life, and they annoy you, then you are not an ocean, a drop in the ocean. You are just looking at around, but you should lose your identity. That's what that was the subject of last week. You should use your identity. You should be ready to use your identity. It means I am nothing different from the rest. Whatever the rest of the world does, I don't care. I have to just concentrate my own position on earth. What am I going to do here? Everything concerns me now. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't learn from other people. Learn yourself. For example, if you have never trained yourself in mathematics, okay? If you say the rest of the room is full of mathematicians, they are experts on mathematics. What would you learn from them? It's an extreme example, but it clarifies the matter. So all the rest of the class speaks about the equations, integrals, or whatever they use, the terminologies they use. You look at them, I don't know what they are talking about. Are they speaking really in English? You don't understand. Because without educating yourself, without training yourself, without really developing your potentialities into a capacity, you cannot communicate with the rest of the world. So Hajj is the place where you concentrate on yourself. You develop your own abilities. You decide what you are going to do. You can take lesson of others, but don't lose yourself in the others. And only then you can be helpful to others. If you learn mathematics, so go to your village or your city and start teaching mathematics there. But if you don't learn mathematics, but look at others only, if you don't really improve yourself, how can you help others? So this is the place in one day decision-making process. Determinedly, yes, I can do that. Adam did it here. Abraham did it here. Muhammad did it here. So I am joining their company. I am following their leadership. Now, as they did it here I am physically experiencing what they did. You know, exactly where you stood up, Muhammad stood up, Adam stood up. What are they? They are the leaders of human beings on earth. Experiencing. You are in the gala of the, if you like, the artist, if you like, example. So you are seeing it. Exactly, the scenery is the same scenery. But if you lose yourself with others, you miss the point. You can't really make this decision. Any question?
I think this sister asked last week, why do I have to go to Hajj to experience this? Oh yeah, so sorry.
We went over it. Okay, it's all right. That's all right. We can watch over it. So that's we said something to do with human. Look, we need teachers. We have to understand that. If you want to train yourself in your human capacity, human reality, you always go and take a course. You cannot, for example, you want to learn Malay. What do you want to do? Either take a teacher who will teach you Malay or go to the Malaysia. Yeah, we need teachers, we need instructions in order to develop ourselves. Yeah, grow if you like, but in physical world, because we are in the physical world. We are not in spiritual world. Our spirit is within a body, and body is in connection with the rest of the world. Physical world, we have to breathe, we have to see, we have to hear, we have to think, we have to eat, we have to take shelter. This in this world. Why? Through all these actions, I will let my potential power, ability to recognize God, to grow, to develop, to improve. And the instructors are the prophets. So that's why we have to get the prophetic heritage into our life, into our practical life, in order to really experience it, feel it. Because Muhammad was standing here to, if you like, re-sign the contract with his God. Do you get it? This covenant, re-signing the covenant. Look, so far I have not done what I was expected to do, but from now onwards, I am going to do this. I decided that. So time is passing. So we move from Arafat after ma'rifah, acknowledgement, knowledge, awareness takes place, and say, go to Muzdalifah. Now, but going to Muzdalifah, shall we not go Muzdalifah before your question? So we have to be very careful here. Muzdalifah is a very important place. Yeah.
Yeah, before we go to Muzdalifah,
yeah.
Just to kind of comment on the question that was asked from the brother, mashallah, with this idea of such a dense and concentrated day, full of the practical example of your resolute decision, it seems like the preparation for Hajj in your life experience of making a resolute decision, then when you're there on Arafah with your physical body now bringing to life your preparation that you did before going of this resolute decision, now you're bringing it to the physical location, it seems like there will be a facilitation for you on this dense day of bringing to you now everything that you brought to it. So I think that reciprocal answer helps say it's not as overwhelming as it seems, because you already did the preparation and now you're receiving on this dense day everything that you've already prepared for it. So there's a reciprocal reception of.
Yeah. If you have not prepared yourself, for example, you want to have a heart operation.
Oh, sure. Sorry to interrupt. There's a sister who's going to take her Shahada.
Yeah.
She's here just with her family.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all could join us for a little while.
Where?
In the Musalla.
When?
In the next few minutes. I don't want to rush and interrupt the class.
Yeah, we can go and come back maybe.
Is that
so
okay?
Just, don't you think it's a good idea?
Is that okay?
Just when you start,
yeah.
Just send somebody to us.
Okay, we're going to start in about 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes later, remind me.
Yeah.
Inshallah, we are in a hot topic now. We are going to
I don't want to
Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah is very important.
Yeah.
So Muzdalifah is called Mash'ar al-Haram. Oh, the Mash'ar means in Arabic, shu'ur, an absolute consciousness. Yeah, knowledge, knowing is different from I have a consciousness about my mother's situation. What does it mean? It is in my heart. She feels ill. She needs some attendance, caring. And I am here in New York. I can do that. It's always with me. It's always with me. I never can forget it. Yeah, mash'ar, consciousness, awareness. But please, just 5 minutes, remind me, inshallah. So you decided, you became aware of what you have done. Now, what you are supposed to do, you decided. Now, hurry to where? Just take refuge into your consciousness. Where? Muzdalifah. So in Muzdalifah, as you are going there, but it is time for prayer. Prophet said, forget it. Go. No, it's time for prayers. In the evening, you will be there. So, no, you're not. You can pray there. Come on. They didn't let pray. People even pray. Can you imagine? Oh, what does it mean? It is time for prayer? No, Maghrib prayer, because you have to be there in Muzdalifah sooner. So the Prophet said, you can pray there. Postpone it. It's so important. It's more important than your prayer, which we really take it serious, and it is serious. What are you going to do there? We are going to there and stand and collect some pebbles. Come on, collecting some pebbles cannot be that serious. Yeah. The pebbles represent what? Bombs. Yeah. It means rockets. You are going to take them and throw them. Rockets to what? To hit the enemy. Yeah? To hit the enemy. So who is enemy? You want to do something, but there are some ideas or there are some concerns keep you busy. Keep you busy. So that you cannot really implement your decisions. You have to say, what are the reasons? I'm very much concerned with my children, with my family, with my, tribe or whatever. You're concerned with my future, with my degree, with my business, whatever your concerns are. And because of these distractions, you cannot really implement your decisions in your physical world. You have to say that I am going to destroy them. So you have to collect certain amount of pebbles, right, to be thrown to what? You say? Satan. Okay. If you say, I'm going to stone Satan, okay, for what? So what was wrong with you that you're listing your weak points, becoming aware of your weaknesses, distractions. For each distraction, you take one pebble. This is for this. I'm going to throw this rocket to this, the source of this distraction. And the other one, I feel very weak when for example, when I decide to pray and a friend calls me, just when you decide to pray, there's a call always. So as usual. So, and then pray, and say, come on, let's do something. Or let's go, we are going somewhere together and have the dinner together, etc. I cannot say no, because otherwise I will be disassociating myself from the rest of the society. Oh, this is, just a minute, what is my priority? What is the purpose of my being in this world? Not to be distracted by this weak point. Take one pebble. That is the rocket I am going to throw to hit the target. Right? Of course, there are other significance of it. It represents that it is not internal. Inshallah, we will. Is it time now? No. It is not internal. Is there anybody who's going to stay here? Everybody will go there. So what are we going to do with this stuff here? Maybe it's there.
You need to try the camera.
Okay. You should take care of it. So one more person may watch out, maybe. Okay, we can. All right. So we have to be careful why we are going to Muzdalifah. We have to be careful why are we picking up the pebbles. Pebbles don't have to be big. It is sunnah, it is the preference of the Prophet to have smaller. Why? Because they symbolize your weak point. So they are themselves, you are not going to hit the Satan with a big bomb or rocket. It symbolizes what is going on within you. Okay, inshallah, we will come back there and then carry on. What are you going to do? Saleh, can you?
I'm gonna leave my stuff here.
Okay. Inshallah,
That'd be
we will
really
go
brave
there
of them
and
to take that, you know?
join this good event. Okay? Inshallah. Let's go.
Shema. Shema.
A few weeks ago.
No, I just take my stuff. I don't know. I always feel like I'm gonna get wrong.
Open one.
Yeah, it was the friend suggested donation.
Oh. Now is what is going to
She's from Germany.
Okay, nice. So you came from Germany over? Wow. Maybe 2 weeks? Nice. We're in Germany.
Hamburg.
Okay, we study.
Yeah.
Is he leaving? Huh? He should, because I think he's, yeah,
Well,
that's
I wanted to ask you, is I have nothing in group on Google Group fine full? Like I had enough to send out, but I didn't know whether I should.
No,
send
don't,
out.
not yet, not yet.
Not yet?
Did you get the email? 'Cause it's
I got yours, when you said 22 hours.
22 hours, yeah, and you know, you can only add 10. emails per
We're trying to,
per day. Per day you can enter 100, but
at a
per,
time.
yeah, per task, that's crazy. So, so the other day I logged in on, was that Friday evening or Thursday evening, and had like half an hour left. I had half an hour left and then I went to sleep.
You did the 200,
I
like,
did.
at a time?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
I still have, I
worried
still have
for that.
another batch to go. But yeah, so
Okay,
it's just
okay,
because
let me know when it's
evening.
done, then I'll send both.
Like I had these left to send out,
I think I'll just wait till they're finalized and then I'll send it.
but Sarah created that group